Turn it up. We're going to draft. No. See, we got 20 seconds. I should have just done it earlier, guys. There we go. Righty then. So, LR, blue side. Barça over on red. Welcome to the stream. Those who are joining us for Lost Returns versus Barça. Both 1-0 right now. Bit of a vengeance matchup here. Barça took a series off LR. In a pretty fun competition between the two. So, we're going to see the Maokai Ari banned. Sion is banned against Faust, who is in fact 11-0 on Sion in comp. In a year, that's very good going. So, Oriana and Ari away from Chocolate. 113's got his Maokai banned. Wukong away from Velia. Fence. What are you giving up here, though? Do you ban the Gragas? Do you pick the Gragas? White Knight is a Gragas player. Jarvan. Velia's Jarvan saying, actually, we think you've got a slightly weaker champion pool here. Are we first picking Gragas? Was Cage and Nodoame are the ones coached today. They will go instead for Nemesis's Syndra. Worth noting that Chocolate is another Syndra player, so it's a bit of a takeaway from him as well. I think it's also a bit of a gauntlet being thrown at Chocolate, saying, do you have an answer into this? We saw the wave from Nemesis yesterday. Subscribe to talk in the chat and the draft starts. That's great timing. Great timing. Oh, you got done about it. Thank you for the link. Sorry, links in chat. I'll have a look at that one there. Ah, yes. Oh, I don't know that talk. I'll look at it a bit later. Appreciate the link there. Rumble Aurora. Yeah, that's a good pairing. So I was saying, if you're going to first pick Syndra, you're going to get two major meta picks. You're fine with that. Chocolate is a big Aurora player. Rumble, as we've seen, very, very potent. We've watched SLT smash people on it earlier. But again, it's Baus. He's used to playing into this. Are you just Gragasing now? Could Volibear it? Done it before. That's normally into Ambessa, though, to be fair. Baus. More I think about it, the more I actually hate that idea. Galio. Yeah, you could Galio this too. Very true. Yeah, no worry, I say. That does make sense. So they will just Galio. Okay. I mean, that makes sense into the Rumble. So, are you locking a Velia champion now and leaving bot lane up for grabs? Or do you want to allow for something a bit spicier? Because you've got the Galio and the Syndra, you could justify Kiana here if Velia's feeling it. Your bold pick, not necessarily what we've seen out of him so much. Go more towards the Viego angles. It's a little bit spicy. You don't see a lot of Viego anymore. But if you've got the Syndra and the Galio, Viego's a good Galio homing beacon. Not necessarily a Shinzao or whatever, but he's a bit more of a carry. And basically, between Syndra execute and Viego execute, you can pop people pretty well. And obviously, Velia loves the Viego. So it makes sense on a player standpoint. But there's the Kiana we've been talking about. You have to be very careful as Viego into Kiana. Very careful. Basically because you spend a lot of time lurking around walls as Viego. And Kiana can just sort of say, yeah, no, you don't, and ult the wall. And it's a bad time. Kiana's not been great in the West. Really bad in LEC, very mediocre in LCK. I've been doing a lot of LPL casting. And it is undefeated, I believe, in LPL. 9-9. I have seen, on repeat, 5,000 individual gold leads, 4 level leads. 4 level leads in this day and age in the jungle out of Kiana. Like, you can absolutely destroy a game. You will out-farm a Viego. Even though Viego's a good farmer, I think you probably match skirmishing quite well. You will be better on your first clear and be able to get the double longsword to have a better angle in the first skirmish. I think you've got a bigger team fight. You are safer as Viego. You duel well enough, though you're not unlikely to be able to kill the Kiana. If you are a good Kiana player, this Barça draft is a lot of damage. a lot of damage. I will say they're all quite squishy, and so whoever gets caught up by the CC chain of Lost Ratones will die. Will die, and then you give the body over to Viego, who then bans the favor. But it's not like Barca don't have their own threats here. I think you are going to want to ban... I was about to say, you might want to pick the Alistair here for Whiting, but banning it themselves instead is one of our... Reckless is more comfortable engaged sports, and he's not normally that big of an... He's become more of an engaged sport player. However, it wasn't his specialty to begin with. Legolas has his Kaiser removed. Do you just Rel? Oh, Rel's already gone, sorry. That makes sense. Do you Braum here? Double melee and Viego hates Braum. He's pretty good with Braum. I could see Reckless locking in a Braum here and saying, yeah, alright, Kiana's coming in. How much do you really want to do that? And they get rid of the Jhin. Yeah, away from Crownie, who's been a very, very good Jhin. I wonder whether Crownie looks at an Ezreal here. Rakan and threaten Azaya. Rakan and threaten Azaya into the Viego and the Galio. And then between Feathers and between Worlds and Kiana Ul and Featherstorm, your AoE teamfights are brutal. LR have gone for a pick, and I think the Lulu was really necessary here. Okay, yeah, they've gone Zeri Lulu. So there's your option to carry. You're a little short range as LR, but I think the Lulu helped keep the Viego alive from what will be a lot of AoE anti-dive. There's the Xayah. So you what? Velia is going to have to pick his moments very well here. Because if you go in as the Viego, and your Galio and Lulu aren't enough to help you survive the onslaught of anti-dive AoE. Rumble throws down Equalizer, Featherstorm comes out, Witness comes on top of you, Aurora starts bouncing between walls, between worlds, and then you get shunted into a wall by Kiana and blasted. It's not going to be a really fun time. The Lulu helps survive, like the Viego survive, and that is actually a really necessary thing. And you have got the Zeri carry option to go with the Syndra pick. Does mean your pick is now very dangerous, but if you mistime it or don't read the runes correctly, and you think, I have got the pick here, and the AoE comes down, it's very tricky. I actually think these are really fun drafts. I like the Kiana in isolation here from the perspective of an LPL caster, but that is not necessarily a not necessarily an EU caster, it has to be said. Well, Caedrel's manning through it. Wish his throat's okay. So if 1-1-3 can carry on the Kiana, I see the angle this game. I think LR, you know what their comp wants to do, and really is Velia making things happen early. Thank you for the fall. Then Syndra, you know, basically like Velia making the play, Zeri following up to clean things up as the game gets later. I do think there is a world where the Viego dives in and gets mashed, and that might get a bit scary. But we'll see. LR again have gone towards quite a bruisery frontline with the Galio. Viego, I think, will probably go for a Sundered Sky type build to give himself a little bit more option. And I think if you get vision control and lane shove and you can start playing around the Galio ult with whoever's diving in, life is decent. If you don't, and suddenly you are into a quad carry comp that is blasting you with the most insane ult AoE of all time, it's a bad time. Velia's about to face check 2 people. Oh dear. Okay. They won't overplay it. However, that does mean no early wards for Velia into the enemy jungle. Reminder, the reason we are seeing Kiana jungle, she got buffed, particularly in her damage to jungle monsters with her W. Basically got 10% extra flat attack speed at every rank. It means that Kiana is clearing the jungle, if you're a good Kiana, at about 304.
I see your spirit.
304 jungle clear. Yikes. That means you can back for long swords and come out and contest Skullcrab. I think there's been some slight nerfs, maybe not quite as easy to do that, but you still end up clearing very, very fast. And then, actually, as you get towards Profane Hydra, as you get towards Axiomar, It's a lot of lethality. It's a lot of ability haste on your ultimate. You just turn up to every skirmish and ult everyone and they die. And you out-farm, and you out-level, and you're a carry threat, and you've got teamfight CC. You can see what the angle is with Qiyana, but it is the obligation is to be good at Qiyana too. And it's the reason why it's decent in LPL, right? Because you've got, this is the region of TN, who is still getting Qiyana permabanned against him. Kanavi, Tarzan. Monsters of the game who would be mechanically more than good enough to play Qiyana mid lane. And that is the bar I set for some of these junglers, is if you are going to play at a high level at the very least, the likes of a Zed, or in this case, the likes of a Qiyana, and I think there is a certain similarity in terms of when you are drafting them. There are nuances there. We can get into that another time. The baseline for me is, are you good enough to play this mid lane? Could you play this like a mid laner plays? You know the combos. You know the windows. You know how to team fight with. To that level. If not, then you're going to look a bit silly at a certain level. This is what we like to see, though, because Qiyana's already got the red buff. And gets to mess with the Viego, who's got no red buff. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. 113 hasn't got smite. We'll start off red here. That's big. And actually, the Lulu Xeri, which is double ranged, haven't gotten shove. They can't join in the jungle very easily. I think Qiyana's going to smash this red buff in very short order. Velia doesn't have flash either. I think that's a lost red buff. And they've got wards around as well. So Velia, I think... Look, you've gotten the longsword in the dream. I wonder how you're going to feel about this Scuttle Crab. You won't quite have smite up. Gets a stun in the river. You need to have it go away from Velia. Oh, hang on. I think Velia might have a really good angle onto 113 here. Good chunk there with the Blade of the Rune King. Nemesis coming over. Whiten's coming. Good dodge away. Oh, Velia misses his W. 113 is going to get to run away. Crowny's going to slide out. Whiten's now coming on over. He's now in danger. Where's the Aurora? TP's back in. Good dodge away from the Scout of the Week. So it'll end up being a buff for buff trade. Scuttle Crab's still up. LR burn a fair number of resources to make this happen. They don't get the Scuttle Crab. Now they're looking to punish. Crowny is going to slide out. They're going to spot... Legolas is going to prevent him getting towards the wave. So the trade for getting Velia the blue buff is lost control in mid and bot. Nemesis, good Scout of the Week. Still eats a lot of damage. First strike. Ow. Nemesis doesn't have TP either, so he's going to lose this wave. No smite. Doesn't matter. Got it. Yeah, okay. Velia's stuck at 19 CS. This is what Qiyana does with early priority and a good early laning. This is why you wanted the ward. Why Velia getting chunked at level 1 was such a big deal. Qiyana then knows where you're going to be, and she clears so damn fast she can contest you at Krugs at red buff. White Knight's gotten the ability to come crashing on over. If this is a kill onto 113, I think this is actually not great for Baus. It does get the wave crash, and White Knight is dropping a wave to make this happen. So I will note there's a wave crashing right now. So Baus is still going to be ahead in terms of XP, in terms of gold. And White Knight wasn't given the kill, it was given to 113. However, 113 has already gotten a significant lead over Velia. And you have to start asking questions about, is Baus getting a lead enough to mitigate the fact that 113 could potentially take over the game on Qiyana? And that could be a big deal. We'll need to keep our eyes on it. And it does make this a very interesting set of affairs, because again, that's an early 600 gold lead to Qiyana, who's gotten the early Brutalizer. There's the Between Worlds. Nemesis didn't have level 6, and again, didn't get there because he's been forced back. White Knight's got to roam down. Potentially look for an Equalizer angle. Nemesis is going to be forced off this turret. This is rough for the Syndra. First pick Syndra is not having fun here. Yeah, there's the Equalizer. Nemesis has to flash and doesn't have TP. Oh dear. They've sent Reckless and Velia mid to try and shield this out. Whiten's going to body block it. Nemesis actually has to be really afraid of a twofold Hex weirding combo, because I think that would kill Nemesis, especially without the flash. Missing the Spectral Maw. Dragon picked up by 113. It's not the biggest gold lead. It's where the gold lead is. And again, LR have been known to drop leads early on in game. It happens. They win anyway. Not the end of the world. However, it is worth noting that if you take nameplates off and you go, okay, this isn't LR and Barça, it's just two teams playing this way, you should be nervous that the Aurora has managed to get the Syndra into this position. And that 113 is significantly ahead, although actually caught here at half HP. Oh, they're dead. Flash still. Galio ult, flash out. We'll be able to escape with the blast cone. But they've gone very deep for this, and Velia's still level 5. Yeah, okay, what? Baus gets out. That's actually a pretty good invade. Nice recovery. That's what you like to see. And you get the flash out of 113, who got greedy there. That'll be a camp. That'll be a couple camps back. Necessary for Velia. Necessary for Velia. Oh, good flash from Legolas. Crowny does have flash. You can be forced to burn it. Oh, I don't know about that ult, Legolas. Don't think you need to ult there. And you flash for the feather pool? I think Crowny's okay with that. I think Crowny's very okay with this. Up 10 CS already. And Velia's going to get grubs off the back of this as well. Solid recovery from jungle in particular. And good use of the ultimate in the early lane prior from Baus to make sure that 113 can stick around and contest that. Crowny with flash advantage and the CS advantage and the reset there. He's fine. Jekalad is going to punish Nemesis though, who doesn't have flash. 113 is about to just smash him. Hasn't got flash. Does it matter? Yeah, it's Swoon's their talent. Forces the ult now at least. Clears the wave. Jekalad can probably twofold hex that. Jungle tax. Baus TP's in. They got 2 of the grubs. That effectively ends up being 2 grubs for the kill mid. I suppose with a play in the jungle as well. 1 for 1 in kills. Did they kill anyone? No, they didn't. They got some flashes. They didn't get the kill. So in the end, I suppose it's jungle camps, grubs, or kill mid, effectively. That was in the grand scheme. And the flash advantage bomb. That's kind of its own thing. Velia should mash the grubs. Why is Prouse the only pro player that does this strat? It's not work in tier 1 play. I think it is significantly riskier at tier 1. Because... oh. Yep. There are players that are more mechanically gifted enough to punish... oh, hang on. That's actually a really good gank angle mid. Jekalad goes across the veil. Does have flash. There's no more stun left for LR, so Jekalad is fine. Does need to be a bit wary there. Ah, yeah, had to flash that. Oof. Nearly a good Mad Life from Velia, actually. Nearly read the flash perfectly. But yeah, the issue is that the Baus's way of playing this is inherently very greedy. And Baus is very, very, very good at it, and I don't think people have got that much experience against playing against it. Oh, Screams Play of Gallant combo. First strike, Crowny's dead. Crowny's dead. As is Reckless. Oh, nasty. Kiana with Profane Hydra and first strike, everybody. And this is this is the issue with Baus's style of playing potentially. If teams are good enough to get value elsewhere on the map or get value off the kills onto Baus, say getting a Kiana fed to be able to do this, then Baus's play pattern becomes selfish enough that it affects the rest of the map. LR are a good enough team in general. Oh, that might be a solo kill. Ooh, not quite. Very necessary stun. That twofold hex pullback. My god. That was sub 10 HP, but Nemesis is not having fun mid. Yeah, I think that might be Baus dying. No flash. Feather Storm. Nice. Really good stuff from 113 and White in there. Actually, sorry, Legolas and White in. 113 was on my screen. The thing is, though, that bot side play did give Crowny and Reckless a chance to get another plate top, which is important. But we'll note that Legolas ending up ahead in gold off getting that kill onto Baus is a bit problematic. They got 2 plates. I honestly don't remember. Okay, if I was casting this properly, I would have used a couple of plates. Is the way I would have phrased it, because the point is I didn't catch it. And then I would type or yell in production to go, how many plates did they get? And production would go, Sam, you're silly. They got this many plates. And they go, thank you for that. So the answer is you might be right. And I just missed it. I was like, I don't actually know. I know it was at least a plate. Is 113 the emote spammer? He is. He is also right now in a very scary spot this game. 202. I will give credit to Velia for recovering from the early jungle debacle. The invade was really good later on. Crack and Slayer for Viego, so he's going for the carry build. He's got a Lulu and a Galio behind him, so not the end of the world. Oh, Baus, great roam. Checolate is so dead. Really nice. A kill now for that Viego. Very, very nice. How did Baus get there without Checolate knowing it? It's going to cost bot turret. I think. Oh, nice turnaround. Ah, yeah, 113. You can't have that happen. Yeah. You got the kill mid, but you didn't track where the jungler was. And 113 is a carry. That's not a Shinzao or whatever. That Kiana will blast you in the face. Can you clear this turret? Oh, you just about clear the wave. Good work from White Knight. He's got Rakan coming up. They need to leave. Brownie needs to get out of here. Can he slide down the wall? Might force ult out of Reckless here. They're going to wait and quickness Crowny. They're going to wait and quickness Crowny. He's not going to be allowed to slide on it. He needs to try and play it out. It's a good wild growth triple knockup. He's dead. That was really nice positioning from Whiten. Did you see how they did that? Basically, Whiten basically sat there on the wall and said, if you slide, I will quickness and charm you off the wall. And then White Knight gets to go, you don't win the 1v1 versus me, I will walk at you. And Kiana was behind it all and got the kill. How much HP? 14 HP. Just sit around and get the turret at that point, guys. Oh, man. I think you just have to sit around and get it. But that was very nice positioning from Whiten. Because it was damned if you do, damned if you don't. You saw what the alcove angle was. Crowny's going, cool, I will slide out of here. And the next level is Whiten going, yeah, I know you're going to go in there. Let me stand next to this wall and I will charm you off. We see this happen versus Talia sometimes too, actually. Yeah, 113 on a carry, a slightly different beast. Up 1,000 gold. In credit to Velia for at least managing to get some invades off, get some camps back. But the problem is that invade on the Raptors, he got the Raptor cap and just got blasted for it. And becoming a 1-for-1 because of the kill mid. Because, yes, you got the kill mid, but then the kill back comes on through. And now Kiana is 1,000 gold up. Profane Hydra very early. And who tanks Kiana ultimate on this team? Galio eventually? Everyone else. This is a Kraken Slayer. On Viego. Good grief. Give me a second. That's rough. Now, he's got first turret mid. That is the price of Nemesis being forced back a number of times. Credit to Nemesis at the very least for coming back. Was actually quite a long way behind, but getting that assist, getting some CS back, that's nice. Does get the turret top side. That's nice. You get what you can get. Herald's going to get started, though. And feats of strength for Barca is not bad. A couple thousand gold ahead's not bad. It's LR, though. We have seen them come back from significantly bigger deficit. Cadril is indeed watching. He's got the stream up. So at this point, LR, what are you doing to come back into this? And part of this is getting a second item onto Crowny. Funnel him as much gold as you can. And then you are basically looking to pick off people with the Viego Galio combo. We've seen a little bit of that from Bousty already. Though Bousty's actually behind in gold now, which is a bit frustrating. Although, in fairness, being even at 0 and 2. Oh, Bousty never change. The only issue basically is, look, your kills, the deaths that you've given up, have given Kiana a lot of value. And I do think this is a game, as I've been saying, that a good Kiana can carry. And we've seen some bad Kianas. I think 113 so far has played a pretty good Kiana game. And you're sort of seeing why Kiana was tried so much. But again, there's just a bar. There's a mechanical bar to execution. I don't know whether you need to herald that. But they're going to... Oh! Oh, God! Bousy! Oh, Lord Almighty! He's dead. That's your tank! Oh! That's not for turret. They might get a tier 2 off this. Are we getting rotation? We are getting the Zeri and Lulu coming down, but it won't save the turret. Bloody hell, son. Yeah, now Kiana's 2,000 gold ahead. They get 2 turrets. They can rotate for soul point. Baus has got TP and ult, though. So, there's a world where Barca have now overplayed their hands here. They're greeding for all of it. They've gotten the kill, 2 turrets, and they're in the river first. Good chunk onto Veli, who is still quite squishy. Okay, Baus doesn't want to ult it. They're going to get this as well. They're not going to contest. Okay, fine, fine. Nemesis wasn't there either, so it's what it is. Nemesis only has Hollow Radiance right now. It's true. And he's gotten Symbiotic Souls. And of course, he's gone Dark Seal and a Hexo Cultinator. So he's not going tanky. Of course he's not. However, this is then part of a larger factor of the LR draft, which is that it is inherently a very squishy draft. Into a now Profane Hydra Axiomar Giga-fed Kiana, who will ult anybody and smash them in a combo. Ult did half of Baus's HP into a knockup, and then QWQ was the rest of Baus's HP bar. That's nasty. That's really nasty. Flicker Blade's done for Legolas, so you're getting second items here for Barcelona. Okay, LR, if you give Infernal Soul to a quad carry comp, it's over. I don't care how good LR are coming back. I think it gets very, very, very hard to play then. And I think we're going to start seeing LR pull towards Atakan, and if that goes wrong as well, this gets hard. We're going to start seeing 113 start stepping into the... Hang on. 113's gone very deep. Ooh, flash out! Serena's Blame Talent! Nah, that's foul. Oh, Veli's got to be really careful. He's getting exhausted. Wild Growth! Trying to get the reset! He just about gets it, but dies! Damn. Damn. Really clutch flash from 113. Okay, you got the shutdown. That's your prize. You got the shutdown. You cut the gold lead by 600. Because you got the shutdown. However, that's still not great. Yeah, I mean, you save the turret. Xayah still gets the shove through mid. Is the shutdown enough? Because the problem is the Kiana still got 2 kills. So it's not like she came away with that play not getting gold. It does reduce... It takes Nemesis' lead away again. Probably is about even. Probably is about even. I think you're probably still okay-ish with that as Barca. 2 kills for Kiana is nothing to sniff at. Even if, of course, you still give that shutdown over. Though I grant you that 1,000 gold is a fair amount to give over. And I can see the criticism. But does cutting the gold lead by what? 400? Matter compared to Kiana getting another influx of about 1,000 gold herself. Well, more like 750. There's still a lot of gold to give over. And Nemesis dies again. And it gets more on the board for Checkerlad. And it forces awkward rotation, so you end up losing a wave bot. Don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's as simple as that's enough. We'll see. Second item's done for Crown. He's got the Hurricane. Second item's in for Nemesis. Titanic's done for Velia. Velia's got a very burst-heavy build. And this will matter, because if you do catch 113, and you get an auto-Q auto off with the R, or an auto... Even a Q Titanic auto, or Q Titanic R, Like, those short burst combos are very, very scary. That is a moving the camera. That is a very smart Serpent's Fang. Boop. The tankiness this game is from shields. It is Lulu. Probably even the Galio shield. It should probably affect as well from his ult. I think that's going to really hurt, especially if you look at something like a Sterak's or Velia. Whoever gets Lulu ulted or Lulu saved now is actually not going to be anywhere near as safe as the way Baus is dead. Yeah. Baus is dead. Ooh, hang on. Flash out. Phase rush. TP in. Hop away. TP flash. I think you're okay with that. Reminder, it's not a long cooldown for 113 with all of this ability haste. Ooh, stun, but not that much follow-up. Nemesis, now in danger. That equalizer kind of sucked. Not great, White Knight. Not going to lie to you. Nemesis! Hop out from Whiten. Yeah, fine. You get the heroic entrance, and Nemesis has to be wild growth as well. I don't know about this one, Bausey. Bausey gets away with it. Between worlds, lots of burn. Crowley can't find that much more. Oh my god, LR get away with murder. Nemesis, you need to back. The problem is this is Infernal Soul, and Barcelona's HP bars are so much better. You have to contest now, but you just burned like all of your ults. How the hell do you walk into this as Soul? Quad carry with Infernal Soul. Chekalab might look for a weirding combo here. Baus, I don't know about this. Yeah, Baus might just eat a lot of Infernal Soul damage. Diana. 113's got ult up again. 113's got ult up again. Watch him. Watch him. Ooh. Grass gets stunned. Flash away. He doesn't find the stun back. Oh my god, the Ixtal's aim. Oh, the Edge of Impact. Ixtal's Impact. Edge of Ixtal. My day Skarner has ruined my Kiana ability names. Rocket Belt. Why? Because it's Baus. He wants to go look for the big plays. With that and Phase Rush and Symbiotic Souls, he's got so much mobility. Yeah. Kiana's doing some pretty horrifying things this game. Credit to Velia for staying close-ish in XP, at the very least. They can Atakan now. With Infernal Soul. Oh, LR, you've got to play this well. Any other team, this game is over. They're 4,000 gold. Ah, man alive, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, okay, well, you got an invitation to the talent show. Kiana has been showing that particular ability for a number of years now. Good God. I am sad to say that my read on the Kiana being potentially quite cool here was correct. Alright, Atakan, Infernal Soul, 4,500 gold. This is not a pleasant place for LR to be in. Gold lead-wise, at least, they have been able to pick up some bits here. Baus is going to get a tier 2. You take the silver linings where you can find them. If you can blow up Kiana with a lot of your burst damage, especially because it's a very high damage Viego, you can possibly find a way back. The problem is, LR are forced to face check into Baron pits like that, just losing members. Barca are playing this really well. Really well. Yeah. This is challenging now. Well, they just, at the span of about 2 minutes, they just got Infernal Soul, Atakan, and Baron. That should be game. And unfortunately for LR, they are not winning this one. First pick, Syndra, hasn't really worked out. And then the response being Rumble Aurora has been tough. They then Galio to try and mitigate the Rumble. Rumble fell a bit behind, but it's been just fine in the team fights. And they go, right, we're going to lock in Viego. Not bad as a Galio option, but I think Barca just basically said, yeah, blind picking Viego and blind picking Syndra is just very bold into us. Because the Kiana is a really good answer to a lot of these junglers. A lot of these comps. And you can see why. Again, it's not been great at LCK level. It's not been great at LEC. In LPL, it's been first pickable. People have been banning it and are not allowing it as first pick, first game in Fearless. first game, but first pick options for certain players, because you can just take over a game, and then it doesn't really matter. She'll always have ult up, and she will be an extra carry, and she's initiation. Her ult is initiation. It's like, well, I'm a carry with initiation? Sign me up. And I can just get massive individual leads in the jungle. It's tough.
Enemies.
Right, it's tough! That's without ult! Good God. So you can see why LCK and LEC teams have been trying it. That is probably lights out. Do LR... Okay, they're not going to push for the end. They're going to play it a bit safer. Kiana's just back for Cyrilda's grudge. Kiana is 2 items ahead of Velia now. Bloody hell. This all kind of started around that level 1 catch on Velia, where he goes down really low, doesn't get early wards. Kiana clears her red side jungle and immediately invades, knowing where Viego's going to be. They force Viego out of the jungle. They get the red buff. They try to counter invade. Don't actually get that much value. I mean, it's tough. It's a really good Kiana game. And I credit to Velia and to Lost Returns for at least finding ways to get Velia back into the game XP-wise. But they have not managed to pull the trigger proactively themselves. It's been triaging from minute 1. And that's tough. The level of damage reminds me when LeBlanc was blowing up support on Spam a few seasons ago. Yeah, there is a bit of that. And again, like, look, the way LR have built this team comp, like, it is a carry Viego with Titanic and Kraken Slayer. It is Baus going AP Scion. You've got a Lulu support. No one here can deal with a Kiana combo. Not a 4-item Kiana combo. She's level 16 now. Like, this is tough. And we've not really seen Crownie be able to play the game. Nemesis was getting manhandled largely in lane by Checkerlad as well. Solid work to come back. But actually, we saw Nemesis forced to reset, forced to go back from the turret multiple times. That gave Kiana a lot of free time to get involved and get a lot of the early objectives. Like, we've all memed about LR's early games, but rarely has it been punished so successfully by team. Yeah, exactly, RS. There's been a little bit of that kind of like play for mid game. Nemesis won't lose lane. It's very rare to see Nemesis come out of the early lane. But don't worry, he recovered well. So low. And Velia being put so far behind has been a nightmare. Especially because this draft required Velia to be a linchpin. And he's been mashed. There's Elder Dragon. It's an early Elder Dragon too. You've got 3 items on Crownie, but I don't know what you do here. There's 113 right there. Bit of a stun. Barça did it in groups last time as well. They did. They did. Barça have been a bit of the LR kryptonite. I was quite excited for this match. I was like, I wonder. And I'm glad I wondered. I am glad I wondered. Good stun. Goodbye, inhibitors. So, what a phrase from Dippy, by the way. Sometimes the bear eats you, and other times you get eaten by the bear, is what it is. Well, this game, Barcelona have been the Grizzly. And Kiana has been the primary clause. Come out of hibernation of late. Back into the light of pro play. There's some mixed success depending on what league you're in. Best of 1, it doesn't mean much. Oh, yeah, look, absolutely. It's not. However, I say this as an NLC caster, as an LR enjoyer. I am glad that Lost Ratones are getting punished for some of the drafting choices here. This is actually a really fun draft from Barça, and I'm glad, largely, for my own analytical sake, that I went, phew, I see what the Barça angle is here, and I go, you know what, LR? You might have put yourself in a tricky position here. And that will matter, because I want LR to win EMEA Masters legit. If they are going to complete the Golden Wrap, they're going to follow the Piper's roads. I want teams to actually push them and to punish what's often been quite greedy early games where they've fallen behind. Quite greedy drafts where you are blind picking Syndra and locking in Viego and Galio's like this. Hang on. 1-1-3. Just eyeing people by that turret, isn't he? Nemesis doesn't have flash. Good stun. Doesn't mean that much. Like, Nemesis just doesn't have damage. It's a 32-minute Syndra who barely tickles. That's a tragedy. Out of the weak down. Can keep hunting. Double elixir of sorcery in a dream right now. It's every inhibitor down. Elder Dragon's rolling. Equalizer tags a couple. Gonna force Crowny and Reckless to back. They'll get the redemption. The Shirelli's out. Next turret 1 falls. Inhibitors are respawning. Ish. 1 Nexus turret between Barcelona. White Knight goes golden, flashes away. They put Velio out of position. Oh, God. Gab ousted. Crowny's going to throw down the lightning. But unfortunately, his wattage ain't enough. It's a mild static shot. Whereas Barcelona are bringing the Elemental Thunder. 1-1-3. Well, ensure LR aren't going undefeated. Kryptonite of LR continues to be just that.